Yo, what's good, everybody? Hello and a good afternoon from sunny Los Angeles, California. I am your host, Joey J. Ping, and today we're on the RMR Podcast Network. We've got another episode of the New York Cannabis Podcast today, folks. Our episode brought to you guys by Growise CPAs, our premier partner for all things accounting. They are the leading cannabis accounting and financial advisory firm, helping operators stay compliant, profitable, and prepared for growth. Now, our episode today is not about Growise. It's about Kenny, our guest, and Verdi Cannabis, which is a dispensary group. You guys are in New York. You got Chelsea. You got Brooklyn. Kenny, welcome to the show, bro. How are we doing today, my man?
Thank you, Joey. I'm doing very well, brother. Nice to be here.
It's a pleasure to chat with you, man. It's dope. My podcast coordinator reached out and was like, "Yo, we got some groups that we haven't talked to before. They're interested in popping on the show. We got to get them set up, man. We got to talk about New York." And so, Kenny, are you a New Yorker? Are you born and raised out there? Give me a little bit of your history. Who am I talking to today?
I sure am, brother. Born and raised in Manhattan.
Nice.
Been bounced around a little bit, but still in Manhattan. So lifelong New Yorker, 45 years here.
And Kenny, you are the general manager of Verdi Cannabis's Chelsea location. Can you talk to me a little bit about what it's like being in Chelsea? Where is that at in relation to New York City as a whole? Like, because we're not from there. New Yorkers don't know anything about your boroughs and the geography. So where are you guys located in the grand scheme of like a map?
No doubt. We're in Manhattan. We're sort of centralized to a little bit towards the west side, slightly downtown, but really centrally located, very close to Times Square, very close to
Cool.
Penn Station, Madison Square Garden, Macy's, all of that. So pretty much
Wow.
right smack in the heart of Manhattan. Chelsea is a very cool neighborhood. We customers run the gamut. So we have 21-year-olds through probably some 90-year-olds that come in here.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, New
We
York
have
has a ton of people, and you guys live on top of each other. Literally, we go up, right? LA
yeah,
is wide. You
yeah,
guys go up in New York, right?
yeah, yes, we do. Yeah, which makes it hot in the summer, dude. All that concrete and steel just traps all the heat. But yeah, New York's great, dude. Very populated. So the cannabis community is wide and widespread.
Kenny, you said 45 years, born and raised in LA. I appreciate you dating yourself. I've only been aware of New York and cannabis since 2016, like 2017, right? That's as far back as I know about New York.
All
What
right.
Obviously it's adult use legal now. You guys have had lawsuits, you guys have had delays, you guys have had 450 plus locations open up across the state now, and New York has become one of the largest cannabis markets in the world. Kenny, paint the picture for us, before and after. What are some of the biggest changes? What are some of your favorite things? What's some of the shit that you hate?
Sure. Before and after. Before was you had to have a plug, right? You had to know somebody, which I kind of played that role for a
You were
while.
the plug. You said
Uh,
I was the plug.
yeah, right. Legacy market. And then for probably, I think cannabis went legal 2020, 2021. They opened it up for retail, and the first 2.5 years was really kind of a shit show. It was kind of Wild West.
Yeah.
A lot of gray market operators, which I was one of. I worked at two of sort of gray marketplaces, which was really kind of wild. It was unregulated.
Were you nervous? Were you scared? Can you describe some of the emotions and feelings you had while you know they're busting people and that they're starting to ramp up?
Sure. I mean, not really. The places that I was at got raided a handful of times, but they didn't do anything to any of the people that were working there. It was to come in, they took all the
Always,
product,
yeah,
took
yeah,
all
yeah.
the cash, shut the place down for a few hours, and then we kind of just reloaded and back to business.
Wow.
Was I nervous? Not really. I mean, I was under the impression that there's nothing I was really breaking the law for that they could really come after me for. And that was kind of borne out that I think they were mostly looking for the owner operators. Um, So not so much. It was
And then adult use
nerve-wracking.
turns on, right? And now we've got 450 locations, and a lot has changed since the thousands and thousands and thousands of trap shots. They're not everywhere anymore. They
Right.
exist, but they're not everywhere they used to be. And so, what would you say has been some of the positive changes, maybe one of the negative changes since we've transitioned over to adult use full scale?
I think one of the positive changes, well, first of all, for us, Verdi personally, we certainly benefited from all of those shutdowns. 6th and 7th Avenue between 23rd and 42nd were rife and rampant with these gray market shops. So we took in a lot of business last year from May to December because of that. And the beauty side is now that we have real competition. It's legal, operated, licensed shops all around us. So I think competition brings out the best in everybody, and the cream rises to the top, right?
And
Um,
you guys are part of that cream. You have two locations. So one location successful enough to build out a second location. Talk
Correct.
to me a little bit about the brand Verdi. Where did that come from? How long have you been on this journey with this team?
Sure. So the term Verdi is actually short for Verdi grease, which is a term for the color of rust. So if you think of the color of rust, Verdi, that's kind of the short of it. I first thought it was green in Italian, but I was mistaken. Um, I've been here since the back end of May last year, so just over a little bit over a year at this point.
Mm-hmm. A
Started
little
as a
bit
bud
over a year.
tender. Made my way through the ranks here. Went from bud tender to lead to assistant general manager, events coordinator, and now the GM.
Wow, congrats on that journey too. That's not an easy way. A lot of people hit these different ceilings. How were you able to navigate and actually elevate your career? What were some of the key components that maybe was it the structure from Verdi? Was it the people that they hired, the culture? Talk to me a little bit about some of those Verdi behind the scenes.
Sure. I mean, I think largely it was the culture, right? Like when I
Mm,
came in here, really the only question I asked of ownership is how open are you to ideas? Because everybody smokes cannabis, and everybody, or not everybody, but a large portion of our population, and use it in their daily use. So it's whether it's before going to a movie, before going to do athletics, before going to do some concert, maybe before doing work. It's prevalent. So uh, my goal was to figure out how do we involve the everyday use of cannabis into fun activities and events for the shop. I'm fairly well connected in the local sort of jam band music scene here in New York. So I use those connections, and now we have live music here every Thursday night, as well as on some other days. So I think a lot of
well,
it was the culture and the freedom of let's do cool stuff, let's involve cannabis in it. I mean, look, we're selling cannabis, it's fun, right? It should be fun. Probably the best job that anyone of us will ever have. So how do we make the best of those moments? And so, yeah, using those kind of tools and those talents and those connections to just build out the culture here.
what if you were going to describe if you were going to describe the culture of Verdi today? I fly into you. We've never met. I drive to Chelsea. I take the subway, whatever it is. I'm not going to drive in New York. I'm going to take the
Yeah,
subway.
yeah, right.
Right? Let's be real. Let's be real about it. Take the subway over there. I walk around. I wander into Verdi, and I'm like, "Yo, what sets you guys apart?" There's another dispensary a couple blocks away, right? What can you describe that in 3 words? What would you do for them?
The 3 words would be community, family, and knowledge.
Community,
You're going to come
family.
in, you're going to come in, you're going to get greeted by the friendliest bud tenders in the business, some of the most knowledgeable bud tenders in the city. They're going to welcome you in, they're going to make you feel at home. They're going to help you find whatever product it is because we have tons of products, right? There's tons of stuff out on the market at this point. There's probably something for every person and for every use and for every need. So that's what we're going to help you find that. And then we're going to have some fun with it along the way. We're going to have brands here doing pop ups. We're going to have music. We're going to have a tattoo pop up. We'll have a pet event. So, yeah,
Kenny, it's people like you that make it really hard for me to continue not having tattoos. When you guys keep providing cool opportunities to get blasted, it's
I'm
hard.
Yeah, you're talking to someone tattoo free here as well, brother.
Hey!
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man, it's hard. Like when I first got to California from Seattle, right? There was cool brands paying for tattoo artists to come do the cheap tattoos, like five,
Right.
10 minute tattoos, right?
Sure.
So many times have I almost gotten a pizza somewhere, or like
Yes.
like
So
the winky face or whatever it is,
if you're familiar with the brand Inked, they had the magazine and the TV
Mhm.
show. Their flagship location is actually directly across the street from us.
Oh no way,
Um,
that's sick, dude.
so we've tied in with them a couple of times and had some of their artists come over and do some pop-ups, like you said, flash tats, 5-10 minutes. Spend $50 or whatever it is, come get a free tattoo.
That's dope. Because the reality is, if they get a small one and it's free, they might come in and spend another 5 G's on the full sleeve. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yep.
Or in
Yep.
your guys' case, they come in, they spend $50, they get the reward. You guys now can keep
Have a
having
customer for life.
opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Because those clients, bro, these customers, they got a $5,000 to $10,000 life. That like they gonna spend if they're one
Sure.
of the locals or they're one of the people that smoke every day, all the time before activities, they got a $5,000 to $10,000 lifespan minimum. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And we like that. One, we love the data. Shout out to our partners in the podcast network, like Trees, like Sparks Can, like Tagform. Shout out to all our partners in the network. We love data. We love retail data. It helps us understand people, Kenny.
For
Kenny,
sure.
you said some of the most knowledgeable budtenders. What
Yep.
kinds of training does your staff go through to become some of the most knowledgeable budtenders in New York City?
So we have actually had a couple of new people starting today, so we're getting our training regimen up and running. But a lot of it is just spending some time with the people on staff that are the most well versed in the plant and the product and have been around the experience. Um, so we spend them a few hours in back of house with our inventory people, just poking around, looking at the product,
It's a great
asking
idea.
questions. Um, and then spending time at our kiosk and on our menu and familiarizing ourselves with the brand and what does and the products that are available. And then we do our best to schedule bud tender training. So we have all of the brands that we work with. We try to get them in on a fairly regular basis, especially when we bring new employees in to update us on what the new products is, what's coming down the market, what innovations are you guys working on your end, so we can then pass that information along to the customer base.
Now, I think one of the major differences between New York and other markets from a retail and brand perspective, they can't do vendor days at your store, right?
They well, they can. It's just a bit of a different animal, right? Like it's
Okay.
kind of just a standard pop up and show up. Um, I think they're technically not allowed to give out free products and free samples and stuff like that. But we let them interact with our customers, and we try to make it as fun as possible while they're here. I
They
mean,
just can't give me they can't give me a lanyard or they can't give me
oh
obviously
no,
free weed.
no, we can give. They give out lanyards and stickers and keychains and lighters,
Okay, 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 dope.
T-shirts. Yeah, we had a couple of brands in here last week. Alibi is one that sticks out. Good Tide is another one that sticks out, which I believe is a California brand.
Yeah, good.
Off,
Well, Good Tide is from Wild. That's their
yep,
rosin. That's their
offshoot of Wild. Yep. So we had them
Wild
in
from
here last week.
Oregon. So is Alibi, Kenny. Alibi's an Oregon brand. Shout out
Uh,
Oregon in the house. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, that's exciting. So they can pop up. They can do a demonstration, a demo, a vendor day, but
yep.
you're not able to just buy
Hand
a
out.
joint at the store and then get a free one from the brand. Like that's not how we do things anymore.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
Perfect.
Um,
Clarification. I appreciate that. That's love. That's love.
and there are fun ways that we can kind of work around that. We can run promos with the brand. So, buy a product, get a pre-roll for a penny or something like that. So there are little ways that we can get creative with some things.
There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. So there are opportunities to incentivize the customers and create some form of program, if you would, that can incentivize either loyalty, these repeat visits, things like that.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, we have a loyalty program as well.
Fire. So they get like
So
points and stuff based on what they buy.
correct. It's $1 a point. Yep.
go. $1 a point. Let's go. Okay, saving some bucks. I love I love saving money. And I love randomly having points and being
Yeah, of
able to
course.
save money when I get to the register.
Absolutely. And what we've been really trying to do over the last month or two is run these week-long promos with particular brands. So, you know, I want to create the culture where customers come in. There's an opportunity that something is going to be on sale here. We're going to be running some sort of a deal, and they're going to have some access to some sort of a discount, some sort of a promo, some sort of incentivized buy. It keeps people coming back. It keeps it fun. It allows us the opportunity to get the brands in here to engage with the customers and talk to them on their level. So all of that is a bonus for us.
Kenny, we've talked a lot about a lot of shit already, dude. You've got a lot of perspective and wisdom and experience to share. You've got some really great insights about New York, and I appreciate that. Answering some of the questions about the company, the name, some of the culture, some of the training elements. This all helps us understand what makes you guys different. And I think it's important because the next question, how many dispensaries are right around you? You're in fucking Manhattan.
A
What
lot,
is your competition?
a lot.
How do you stand out against so many people? You know what I mean?
Sure. Yep. There's a lot, and I might be speaking out of pocket, but we might be one of the most heavily competitive areas because of the laws, right? So the law is you can't be within 1,000 feet of a church, a school, or another dispensary. Well, we're in a neighborhood that aren't very many schools, aren't very many churches. So if you drew a circle, like an 8 block circle around our location, you'd probably catch 10 other dispensaries that are in our zone.
That's crazy.
Um,
But from my perspective, that's a lot of people with fishing boats all in the same little baby pond.
yeah,
Is
yep,
there a lot of
exactly.
fish there though? How many fish are in that area, Kenny?
A lot. And we're in a high tourist area. Like I said, we're fairly close to Times Square. We're fairly close to Penn Station. So two of the major traffic hubs are nearby. We do get a lot of tourists.
Good.
So
That's good.
yeah, New York's huge, and with the amount of people that are commuting in here on a daily basis, I think there's enough fish in the pond for everybody to eat.
Love that.
Um, and like I said, I think competition brings, the cream to the top, right? So ways
Pressure
that we
makes
try to
diamonds, Kenny. Pressure does make
exactly,
diamonds. Come on.
or burst pipes. So which one do you want to be? We're trying to be a
One way
diamond.
we're gonna find out, right? We're gonna figure out who the actors were and who the real success stories are gonna be. Time will tell, right?
No doubt, no doubt. And we try to stand out, like I said, through our events and stuff. The live music series on Thursday nights, we generate a crowd that we put a couple of we have French doors that open out to the street. I should show
Oh
you right
wow.
here.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, you're legitimately outside right there. Look at that. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm sitting inside, but these doors open out to the street. So we have live music in this. This is sort of our stage right here, our green room. That's our green room sign right there.
That's
You
sick.
can see that. But so we have live music here every Thursday night. We put a couple of benches out in front of the shop. The neighborhood loves it. We got neighbors that come sit out here and wait for it every Thursday. They're sitting out here with their joints ready to go on Thursday night. So things like that. We have jazz bands on Sunday to try to keep a nice, environment inside the shop and, bring some people in off the street. We have DJs coming in on Friday night. So
Yeah,
just we
different music will attract different crowd. People have different
100%.
likes and interests, right?
Absolutely.
I love that diversification of music meets culture meets community. Now, here's the question. I've been to a lot of bars that have got me because they play good music, right? I've been to a lot of restaurants where the menus outside and the vibe and the music, it gets me to go in. And I've been to some of those places that didn't end up serving good experiences, a good product, right?
Sure.
So
Yep.
here's my next thing. The cannabis retail is great. The people, the customer service, it's very important. But does it define the cannabis experience? It does not. The weed has to be good, has to be quality, consistent, and that is different for everybody. And so, Kenny, I ask you, tell me, who are some of your favorite brands that you personally like at the store that you consume? And then, second part of that, who are some of the brands that typically participate in your music and your events?
Sure. So some of my go-to brands on the flower side, we just brought in a brand called Bouquet. That's very nice. Um, Rolling Green is very nice. Umami puts out some very nice work. On the disposable vape side, which is an area that I get into, we just brought in a brand called Raw Sins,
Oh
which you
yeah,
might be
Raw
familiar
Sins.
with.
Yeah. I've heard of them.
Fire. Really, really nice. There's another brand that we brought in that we're going to be bringing in soon called Satori.
Okay.
They're a disposable vape brand. They have some really nice live rosin vapes that we're going to be using. MFNY is one of
Love
our
those guys. Love those guys.
huge retail partners there. So, when it comes to sponsoring our events, it kind of runs the gamut, right? We have great partners that want to get involved in a lot of the stuff that we're doing and see the value in music and see the obviously there's a connection with cannabis and music going back probably to when cannabis started growing and we started discovering it. We were
Come
banging
on,
on
man. They
drums
said
and
weed
shit
was
like that.
found with the Egyptians and the pharaohs, Kenny. You know they was over there shaking ass and smoking joints back in the day. Come on.
100%. Exactly. Banging sticks in the desert, dude, making dance music. So
Let's go.
we try to get as many of the brands as possible, on top of what we do here in the shop with the music. I've created a couple of connections at some local music venues and restaurants. So we've sponsored some actual concerts. We actually have one coming up this Friday. Not sure if you're familiar with a band called Cabinet, but they're a Northeast Pennsylvania bluegrass band. So their side project, Tree Trio, we're putting on a free show with them in a couple of
Sick.
days. We did one back in June, that a pre-show for the Goose concert at MSG. So yeah, I mean, I think many of our good partner brands want to get involved in some of the stuff that we're doing.
Come on,
Fernway is
man. You
another one.
guys, it's football season too, Kenny. I know New York. Y'all got the Giants and the Jets. It's a big
Y-
deal. We
Yeah,
back.
too bad they
You
both
see you
suck.
see the you see the squad though. It's Raider Nation, West Coast. Over
Yes.
here.
So the
But
Jets, Giants, and Raiders will be battling for who has more than 5 wins, right?
don't do me dirty like that, Kenny. Don't do me dirty
Hey,
like
we we
that. Come
we
on.
stink over here too, brother.
You guys should be happy. You guys got the Giants got rid of their shitty quarterback. That was the meme of the year last year.
Yeah,
And then you guys got Justin Fields for the Jets. So you guys got rid of Aaron Rodgers. So New York is all positive, baby. Come on, man. Spike Lee just dropped another
yeah,
movie with Denzel
yeah,
Washington
no
and
doubt.
ASAP Rocky. It's
Oh
a
yeah,
New York is back, baby. The Knicks went far. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
it.
I'm
Oh
getting
yeah,
excited thinking about it, man. And you know why I'm
absolutely,
getting excited thinking about it, Kenny? Because I know New York goes hard for New York shit. You guys fuck with your local culture, right?
no doubt.
How does Verdi, in addition to the music, are you guys currently doing or open to doing more events outside of the music lane? Maybe it's the health and wellness, maybe it's the women, maybe it's the senior stuff. Are you
Oh,
guys open to that in case someone watching wants to work with you guys and collaborate locally?
for sure, we're open to everything. We actually do a lot of that stuff. So we have a yoga class in here once a month. We're going to probably expand on that.
Sick.
Like I said, we've done the tattoo stuff. I want to work with a local puppy foster organization and do like a pop up with one of our pet
My man
CBD
says I'm
brands.
gonna pull all the cards. No, we're
100%.
not. No stops. Puppies.
100%. Yeah, we're open to it all. Like I said, like cannabis goes with daily life. So like if we can find those connections and bring it in here, I think why not?
How
So
many
yeah,
people do you think are smoking joints while they walk their dogs, Kenny?
90% of them.
90? Oh, my man said 9 out of 10 folks. That's how many people.
We get dog walkers in here all the time.
I love it,
We're
man.
we're animal friendly. Yeah, we've actually done some events with pets. We did one sort of a puppy painting event. So we had non-toxic paint. They would come in and put the paint on their paws and put it on a canvas, and the owner could walk out
I'm
with the
done.
painting.
I'm done. That is amazing. How incredible is that? Like for me, I don't even have a dog here in California. Shout out Benito in Costa Rica, my baby boy Benny in Costa Rica.
Shout out.
Salchicha, sausage dog, wiener dog, you know what I'm saying? If I could paint with him, he would have so much fun. His tail just Smashing it, so fun. Anyways, Kenny, you got me. You got me going. Okay, so some of your favorite brands. You mentioned some of those that you're hyped on. Big shout out to Rosin's expanding out to the East Coast. MFNY, big fan. Some of the other groups you mentioned as well. But here's the question of the day, bro. I need your MVP. Who's your MVP flower pick? Best of the best in your opinion, or what's the data say? If you don't want to pick because you don't want to hurt feelings, what does the data say? You know what I'm saying?
Sure, I'd have to call through some of the numbers, but who's our biggest selling flower brand? Do you remember?
Oh, we're getting a live perspective here, folks. Here we go.
So, Back Home Cannabis does our best numbers, and I'll
Is
tell
that
you
an
what it is.
affordable brand, Kenny, or is that
That
something more top shelf?
so it's quality that's affordable.
Yes.
It's kind of their mo, and they have a luxury brand called Milkweed, which is fire, like really top of the line. But
So these
like
guys can grow. They can grow with this method and this price and achieve that quality here, and they can do it consistently, and they can also hit up here.
100%.
Wow.
And
Who
it's
are they
interesting.
again? Say their name again, Kenny.
It's Back Home Cannabis is the umbrella brand,
Yeah.
and then Milkweed would be the luxury top shelf brand.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Some fire weed recommendations from Kenny, man. GM Verdi Cannabis. We're gonna take a moment here, Kenny, hop into a specific segment about compliance, about the trials and struggles in just getting these stores open and running, things of that nature. But I got to shout out Growise CPAs again, everybody, our sponsor, the leading cannabis accounting and financial advisory firm helping operators stay compliant, profitable, and prepared for growth. GrowwiseCPAs.com. Google Growwise CPAs. If you guys have any questions, reach out to them directly. You can hit me up and I'll get you connected. This next segment all about compliance. Kenny, Instagram, quite difficult to stay compliant on that program.
It sure
Which,
is.
which do you enjoy dealing with more as the GM? Social media stuff or the state's compliance?
Um,
I
Tough
know
one.
that's tough, right?
Well, the Instagram one, the social media one, it's hard to ever really know when you're violating and when you're not. Like we got our main page taken down a number of months back, and we're sort of unprepared. Didn't have a backup ready, so that was kind of a heavy loss, right? We kind of lost a bunch of followers, but I think since then we've kind of dialed in what is acceptable, what's within compliance, and what isn't. I would say dealing with the state can be challenged because it's ever changing, right? We don't know. Stuff is still being disputed right now, and what we're able to do and what we're not is ever changing. So trying to stay on top of what's coming and what's not, and what's changing, and what we can do and when, that's been really the biggest challenge on that end.
Do consumers ever really have any interest or understanding of what it takes to do what you guys are doing when it comes to compliance? Do they even care, or is it just coming in and buying weed?
I think largely it's that just coming in and buying weed. They're happy to have a friendly local place where they know they can get quality weed that's been tested and run through the lab and all of that. And once you start to develop and build trust with the customers, you now have a place where you can build on that relationship.
Absolutely.
I think largely, yeah, many of them don't care. Like I said, we do get a lot of tourists, so they don't. They're just happy to be in a state where they can get something. You know what I mean? We have people coming up from a lot of the southern states visiting off in Florida and places like that where they're just happy to Texas where they can come in and just get something.
Yeah, and it's good products. Kenny. I used to say this, and I don't remember the last episode where I made this statement, but I have consistently said this next sentence online all over the place. New York is better at manufacturing products than growing weed. There are better vapes, better edibles, better drinks than the quality of the flower. And I've said that for a while. So do you feel that that applies still to this day? Did you ever feel that that applied?
So it's interesting. It's a good question. When like I said, I started in the gray market, so a lot of our product is coming over from the West Coast, from
Yeah.
Cali
But
or
we're
from
talking
Oregon or whatever.
adult use rec.
Right. So my initial mentality on it was that New York is kind of subpar, right? It's never going to hold a candle to the standard that Cali growers have set. Um, but now being in it and seeing the development over the last year has been eye-opening.
Wow.
Um, I feel like just, you think about it, New York State has some of the best farmers in the country when it comes to produce and things like that. So you have to figure that they're going to get it dialed in and figure out their processes at some point, right? It's just, you know, getting used to growing a new product as opposed to what they're, some of the brands that I can think of have one of the biggest apple orchards in the country. I think Heirloom.
Yeah.
So the farmland is here and the farmers are here, and I've seen in the last year quality has gone up noticeably. So I would say, in a year or two or three, we'll be putting in work that's on a similar pace and similar price point. I think to some of the states where you're seeing a lot of the best work come out of at this point.
How that's a promising statement to hear, man. I appreciate you breaking it down the way that you did. Um, the best flower in New York wasn't in the market yet. It's probably still not in the market yet. And if you ask people in California, they're going to say that it's not in the market either. They're going
Correct.
to say the best stuff doesn't make it right into the shelves. And so I think it's interesting to hear, you say something similar because these markets all follow similar paths. They kind of all go down a similar journey. Eventually, there's going to be a ton of growers, even more brands, a lot more stores, and then the ones that don't do it right, they're going to fall off and
Right.
be acquired and be purchased and things like that.
Yep.
Um, Kenny, let me get to the next question here. I appreciate that insight for you there.
Sure.
In terms of Verdi and some of the other products and brands that are outside of flower and the vapes, who are some of the other partners that people should try that you can recommend in that edible space, in the health and wellness space?
So edibles is an interesting one for me because I'm one of those percentage of the population where they don't really work, right? I've eaten over 200 milligrams, over 300 milligrams at a clip, and nothing. Like I get a little cotton mouth, so I get the only negative side effect without any of the positives. But there are some really good brands here that are doing some really nice work. Um, let me take a quick walk over to their kiosk here, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
pull up some.
one of my favorite brands there, you mentioned it earlier, was MFNY and
Yep,
their live resin gummies.
sure. Yep, they do really nice work, and they're starting to roll out some rosin stuff too. So that
Mm,
the next phase of their rollout is on the way.
hell yeah.
Um, all right, some of the top brands that I can think of, Eaton Botanicals. They do really nice work. Pretty much all of their gummies are made with some sort of a natural mushroom, to help the body in a lot of the stuff. Umami does some really nice work. Wild, as we mentioned, really, really does well here. Um, Kiva, Camino, you've heard
Yeah,
of, I'm sure.
those are all solid ones right there.
Yeah, they do really well. I think Groon might be out of, is that out of Washington State?
I think they're out of Oregon too.
Maybe out of Oregon. Yep. They do really well. So those are some of our better brands in that regard.
Nice.
When it comes to the health and wellness space, we do have some really nice relationships. There's a company called the Healing Rose that we do a lot of work with.
I've heard of that brand. I've seen them out there for a couple years now.
Yep. So they've come in and partnered with us, like I said, on some of the yoga stuff.
Mm.
So there are, like you said, there's a ton of brands. There's more coming to market, probably on a weekly basis, putting out really good work.
All right, we're gonna do some quick one take, quick hitter questions. Are you ready? First
Ready?
answer that comes to mind. Are you ready?
All right, brother. Yep.
Favorite place to eat within walking distance.
Popeyes.
Favorite place to go travel to and adventure to.
I really like Colorado.
Best place to go smoke a joint that I could, if I was just gonna pop in on you right now.
Madison Square Park.
That's dope. All right, Jets, Giants, or not football at all, and you like something else.
Giants.
Oh, he's a Giants guy. All right,
Yeah, I'm. Knicks, Yankees, Giants, Rangers here.
Knicks. I was gonna say Knicks or Nets.
Knicks. Yep.
Knicks. All right, all right, all right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So now my next little question I got for you. We just ended summer. September 1st, official last day of summer. Now it's fall.
Yep.
What do you guys have coming up this month? What do you guys have coming up as we end the year?
We got a ton of stuff coming up in September. We have live music a bunch. We got a couple of DJ events coming up. We have a crafting event with one of our staff, so we're going to start doing a bi-weekly crafting event with one of our staff members going to host. We had high yoga coming up towards the end of the month in September 28th, I believe. And then more, we actually, like I said, we had that concert coming up on Friday at Hill Country Barbecue. Free to the public, free tacos. So if you're out there, you're in New York, come on by. Should be fun, 7 to 10. And then lots more to like that along the fall. Like I said, we're going to get inked in here to do a tattoo pop-up at some point or two. And just continue to see what else presents itself. Like I said, we're always looking for fun ideas to create pop-up events around. And there's talk of starting our own podcast here at Verdi. So lots of fun shit on the horizon, I think.
Man, you guys stay busy, man. Chelsea, New York City, 158 West 23rd Street, man. New York, New York. Make sure you guys pull up to the Verdi Cannabis Chelsea location. You guys can also, if you're over in Brooklyn, BK, 367th Ave, pull up, Brooklyn. Make sure y'all pull up and check them out. You guys can go to the website, verdicannabis.com, VERDI cannabis.com. You can do pickups, you can do deliveries, you can choose either location depending on where you're at, or you can pull up, ask all the questions, and do all the things and check out the weed, check out the products, and get that perspective from your bud tender. As they said, man, they've tried a lot. He's got his particular experiences and his perspectives on certain products, and it all adds up to, yo, you're not going to go in and get a blind recommendation. Like, if you pull up to Verdi, you're going to get a solid rec. You know what I'm saying?
You get taken care of for sure.
Come on, man. You're going to get taken care of. Familia, community, Verdi Cannabis pulling up. Kenny Cunningham here, general manager of their Chelsea location. Kenny, thank you so much for your time. Before I let you go, do you have anything you want to share with the people?
Hey, come on by, dude. We have fun here. We got great product. We're going to continue to do the fun stuff. So come check us out. Come say hi. Come listen to some of our music on Thursday nights. Come check out Verdi.
Come on, man. Verdi Cannabis all the way up, man. Shout out you guys for the music. Shout out y'all for the community and being a part of the neighborhood. Thank you again, man. New York Cannabis Podcast edition of the RMR Podcast brought to you guys by Respect My Region and Growise CPAs, our official accounting partner for all things cannabis operations, compliance, preparing, and all of the different things, man, that it takes to generating a profitable company. We appreciate Growise for the support. Kenny, thank you again for your time. Everybody, we'll see you next time.